Today, Madhur is here to give us some exciting insights into what he has discovered about the true scientific purpose of dreams and their links to emotional intelligence. And perhaps you might use his knowledge for self-improvement and self-healing. Ladies and gentlemen, Madhur Seth.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to be here actually in Ignite, and let me talk to you now about my ideas on dreams and the true purpose that I believe that they play in the creation of neural pathways in our minds. I'll have to move quite quickly. Let's begin with computers. We have to, basically, a human being has to program a computer, right? And so we create algorithms, we create complex programs, multiple languages, and we create rules in order for us to actually program a computer for it to do what it's going to do. And here we have some examples of some of these languages and so on. And that's basically what everything that happens within a system to get an output. Now let's consider now the databases, for example. We create here connections within databases. This is the area that I work in. And very quickly, between those connections, we get a very complex network. Now, when we look at the brain, we have a similar kind of situation with neurons in the brain, and they're all connected in complex networks. Now, what we need to think about is that if we program computers, and we do that as humans, as a separate entity, as a third party, who programs us? And how does that network actually work? This is where sleep, dreams, and emotional intelligence in particular come in. And I would say that sleep is a very, very important part of this. In fact, let's consider what we know scientifically about sleep. MRI and so on and other scans have shown that, first of all, during REM sleep, there is a huge amount of brain activity going on. Why is that the case? Why, when we're supposed to be sleeping, right? Also, you have activity in the emotional and learning centers of the brain during sleep. That's where it's, most profound, right? During REM sleep, we also dream. This is something that we all know. We all have dreams. And finally, we have, where we have a complete sensory shutdown. We don't hear anything, we don't taste anything, we don't feel anything. And nothing in equals nothing out. So the questions that we ask is, shouldn't the brain be resting? And the answer is really that during daytime activity, we are information gathering. And during sleep, we are, in fact, information processing. And why do we need to do that? Is that basically because the brain needs a time to stop collecting information and to start processing that information. So we have this duality during daytime and sleep time. So what that really boils down to is the fact that we have the emotional centers and the learning centers very busy, and emotions basically are decisions, which I'll explain later on. Decisions lead to the creation of neural pathways, and the creation of neural pathways are learning, which lead to neuroplasticity, which is the ability of the brain to actually expand and learn and create new neural connections, and therefore that is learning. And so clearly the creation of neural pathways is essential to learning, right? I mean, that makes quite sense. So the conclusion that we come to is that the combination of dreams, and this is what I've been researching for years now myself, combination of dreams and emotions essentially create learning. And that's a logical path and a theory that I have. So let's look at what a dream really is. Let's look at the mechanics of it. A dream is basically an abstract object or an abstract image that we don't have in reality. It doesn't happen in reality. When we look at it, we realize that we have an emotion towards that. We have a feeling towards that dream. And from that feeling, we create the decision as to whether or not we're going to create a neural pathway, and therefore learning. Now here we have decisions, and decisions basically are emotions in many ways. Basically, emotions are the decision makers within our minds. And I believe, therefore, that apart from the regular emotions, there are actually thousands, if not millions, of very subtle emotions in our minds which are actually which are involved in the creation of new neural pathways, and therefore learning. And this, I believe, is really how we learn. And the answer to the question then, therefore, who programs us if it's not an external programmer? We actually program ourselves. And this is the mechanism by which I believe that we do it, and that's my theory. So let's look at how it works. Basically, the dream is the concept or idea behind a possible program, and EI is the actual programmer. emotional intelligence, the neural pathway is the program, and we are the machine that is being programmed by all of this mechanism. So therefore, if you want to create positive outcomes in your life, you want to be happier, you want to learn better, the thing to do is to, in your daytime activities, do positive things, have a positive life. Therefore, your dreams become positive, and you create positive neural pathways as a result. And you can actively do this. Final thing is that we have Google Dreams, which is a program that Google is actually running, creating dreams. Now, the thing is that Google creates pretty pictures from its dreams, but we use dreams to learn. And what are the implications for artificial intelligence? Well, that's something for the next talk. Thank you very much.